Have you ever wondered about what is so thrilling about tiger safaris?
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Is it just seeing tigers? If it is so, then seeing tigers in their cage in a zoo should have been equally exciting. Is it then sighting tigers in the wild in their natural habitat? Maybe. If it is so, then one or two safaris should have been enough. What draws enthusiasts like me again and again to these safaris in different tiger reserves and national parks? Does one get the similar thrill of hunting as in safaris? Or is it a game with its own set of rules? Let's find it out.
Hi, I am Gaurav and I welcome you to my channel.
Last year, we ventured into the eastern part of MP, while this year we wanted to cover the western part. So, this time we have the jungles of Kanha and beautiful ranges of Satpura in our list. But visiting the jungles is never complete without the insight into the land, its beliefs, some understanding of the culture and heritage, and visiting nearby destinations. With the limited days of our year-end holidays, we decided to save some days of the road trip by flying to Bhopal. In Bhopal, we rented a self-drive car for the rest of our road trip. Along with my better half Vijaya, our society friends Anil and Nishi, and Anup and Anjali were with us on this road trip. With 6 of us in this 7-seater cab, along with everyone's luggage for 9 days, space management has to be quite efficient, and I must say the best seat is supposed to be the one in the 3rd row.
क्यों भाई पैक हो गया सारा?
Back हो गया सारा, ready to go.
Good.
It was a big task.
Every hour, let's change positions.
ये हम हैं,
हाँ.
ये हमारी कार और ये पार्टी हो रही है.
On the first day, with our self-drive car, we traveled to Ujjain. It's a 3.5 hours drive from Bhopal. We wanted to start our road trip by offering our prayers at Shri Mahakaleshwar Temple. The temple has been undergoing a lot of renovation since my last visit. Though the cameras are not allowed inside the temple, once outside the temple, I can't stop recording. Due to the ongoing holiday season, the temple was flooded with devotees.
Holiday for family and friends. Everybody knows it's Christmas time.
आज क्रिसमस है और अनिल और निशी रेड पे.
Red again.
Oh,
The next day, after a hearty breakfast in Bhopal, we headed south. Today, we had the longest drive of our road trip. We should be driving more than 5 hours to reach Panchmarhi, and we had to stop on the way to visit a World Heritage Site. Bhimbetka rocks are around 1.5 hours from Bhopal on the road to Panchmarhi.
पहले जो आप लोगों ने हिस्ट्री की बुक में पढ़ा है सिंधु हड़प्पा के बारे में, आज बच्चों का फर्स्ट चैप्टर हिस्ट्री की बुक में भीमबेटका की रॉक पेंटिंग के बारे में आता है।
अच्छा.
अपने इंडिया के अंदर सबसे पुराना इतिहास मिलेगा आपको भीमबेटका में। तो देखेंगे यहाँ पे ये जंगली हाथी है जिसकी काफी बड़ी टच दिखाई गई है। 10,000 BC 12,000 वर्ष पुराना पेंटिंग। उसी के आगे साइड में देखेंगे डॉटेड डॉटेड वाला नील गाय, हिरन, बारहसिंगा, पीछे साइड में मंकी, नीचे साइड में वाइट बफेलो को भी दिखाया गया है।
there's still some more painting. अच्छा ये this is only 5,000 years old.
और से बैठ के हाथ में लकड़ी का वाला पेंटिंग के लिए जा रहे हैं। जो पेंटिंग आप देख रहे हो 5,000 वर्ष पुराना पेंटिंग है। पहले जो लकड़ी का यूज कर रहा था, बाद में देखेंगे हिस्टोरिकल पीरियड में धातु का यूज कर रहा है, मतलब मेटल आ चुका है। वो 2,000 वर्ष पुराना है, ये 5,000 वर्ष पुराना पेंटिंग है। ऊपर साइड में देखिए एक लकड़ी का तंबूरा बजा रहा है, नीचे साइड में कुछ ग्रुप में डांस कर रहे हैं।
ये what is this?
ये कपूल सबनत प्याले हैं, कार्विंग डेटिंग के आधार पर 1 लाख वर्ष पुराने बताए गए हैं। का है
अच्छा.
हाँ, उनका एविडेंस है कि हम यहाँ रह के जा चुके हैं।
Oh.
1,10,000 1000 साल पहले।
मैं सोचता था कि ये सिर्फ 8000 10,000 साल पुराने हैं। यहाँ पे 1 लाख साल पुराना स्टोन कार्विंग मिले, विच इज़ लाइक माइंड ब्लोइंग।
ये आदि मानव लोग का बेडरूम माना गया है। बेडरूम इसलिए माना गया है, इसमें 2 विंडो है, एक 9 नंबर पर, एक 10 नंबर पर। आराम से सोते हैं, उनको जानवर का डर भी नहीं रहता हुआ, हवा भी लगती होगी।
वाओ।
भीमबेटका में से 230 गुफा है, बट टूरिस्ट के लिए एक ही अलाउ करी है।
Only one rock formation or cave is open to tourists, while this place has huge number of similar caves.
Oh yes, that's turtle. ये सामने।
और इसके साथ हम निकल पड़े अपना नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन की ओर,
जो है पंचमढ़ी।
लास्ट 1.5 घंटे रह गए हैं हमारे पंचमणी के ड्राइव के लिए।
We took time to appreciate the setting sun at Narmada, and shortly the full moon was also visible. It truly was a twilight zone in the hilly forest road. We were at our next destination, Panchmadi. Being a frequent traveler to the hill stations of Uttarakhand and Himachal, I found this hill station unique in many ways. Though it is the only hill station in MP, Panchmarhi has retained its certain level of tranquility and natural beauty due to less commercialization. The air is crisp and clean, and just a few minutes inside the nearby forest, one starts appreciating its virgin beauty. The forest is abundant in medicinal trees, and its effect is evident everywhere. I also found all the safari guides very well informed, and they took real pride in explaining the medicinal properties of each and every tree around them.
बच्चों के जो एक मानसिक जो थोड़ा सा तनाव रहता है उसको भी दूर करता है, और एक जो मेमोरी बूस्टर के रूप में काम करता है। जी हाँ,
ये ब्राह्मणी के
ब्रह्मी सर, ब्रह्मी। हाँ जी दिखा हुआ जी दिखा।
We'll be in Panchmari for 2 days. We have allocated 1 day for tiger safari and 1 day for sightseeing. We pre-booked 2 tiger safaris which are supposed to be in demand during the holiday season. The first safari started at 6 a.m. while everything was dark outside. The forest track mostly runs through hills on one side and valleys on the other, with occasional patches of grassland. This safari seems to be a bit different from the other safaris we did recently. The safari driver stopped to spot the few deer or bison grazing near the road, but it seems there is no effort to stop near the water hole, check out pug barns, or sit patiently to hear the call of deer or monkeys. The safari driver and our guide seem to be in a hurry to reach the midpoint of the safari, which is a forest host in the mid of a grassland. The only thing worth praising is this grassland with dewdrops on the dried up grasses, sparkling with sun rays filtered from the morning fog.
ये हमारा चाय बन रहा है और अभी से बैठे हुए हैं। देखिए,
After stopping at this point for around 15 minutes, our gypsy driver's next aim was to return to the safari's starting point. It was less a tiger safari than a joyride in the jungle. At the end of the morning safari, we were so disheartened by how the safari was conducted that we decided to waste the permit for the evening safari to the core zone and booked a local safari instead. Panchmarhi is also unique from other hill stations because of its many tourist spots and temples. Covering all the tourist spots will take another 3 to 4 days. So we handpicked a few spots and started our evening sightseeing safari. First, On the list was bee fall.
इस पानी में छोटी छोटी मछलियाँ हैं, जहाँ पे थमा हुआ पानी देखें, फिश स्पा हो जाएगा, पेडिक्योर हो जाएगा।
We couldn't climb down to check out the fall, but settled down in a small stream with lots of fish, giving free pedicure service to anyone with time to dip their feet in the water. Next for the day was Reachgarh, or home of bears. We found similar sandstone and cave formation as in Bhimbetka.
296 कहाँ आया?
I was wondering if these caves also had paintings. They may have, but these sandstones had eroded considerably with rainfall, and the cave paintings would have washed away with it.
देखिए सर 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 इंडियन गोट। अभी जो इसकी आगे फैमिलीज भी होगी, ये छोटा साइज है, ये मादा है।
We ended the first day at Dhupghar, the highest point of Panchmadi. The spot has a sunrise and a sunset point. By the time we reached the sunset point, it was crowded. It was difficult to get a proper place to sit and enjoy the sunset.
Look at that, look at that.
The next day, we started our safari quite late. Relaxing was our major agenda of the day. We went to a few viewpoints with different view of the Satpura valley. This rock formation in Panchmarhi resembles Lord Vishnu in a reclining posture.
लास्ट के बाद जो ऊंचा वाला माउंटेन है, इसमें चेहरा बना हुआ है, नाक भी है। उसके बाद ये पेट वाला पोर्शन, ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद नीचे लेग, हाँ, और ये आगे फीट तक होंठ भी बहुत अच्छे दिख रहे हैं।
We also visited Bada Mahadev cave.
पूरे चारों तरफ से पानी टपक रहा है यहाँ पे, और छोटे से गुफा से हमें होते हुए निकल रहा है। हम गुफा के एंड में पहुँचे, जहाँ पे बड़े महादेव की मंदिर है। ये भस्मासुर का एंड हुआ था इस कुंड में।
In the evening, we went to Pandav caves, where the name Panchmarhi was originated. Panch referred to Pandavas and Mari means cave. Due to damage of the caves by tourists, entry to these caves are now restricted. The next day, we headed for Kanha. As we planned this trip only 2 weeks earlier, and with the year-end holiday season, we could not get the safari permit to enter the forest from the popular Mukhi gate of Kanha. Instead, we could book the safari permit from the Sarhi gate.
आज तो मिलना ही चाहिए।
मैनिफेस्ट किया था रात को?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
सुबह उठ के मेडिटेशन?
मुझे तो सपने में भी दिखा टाइगर।
In the first few minutes of the safari, we could see lot more deer than in the entire safari in Panchmari. Today morning, the forest is quiet. No calling was heard from anywhere, and thus we settled down to observe the Barasinghas. The Kanha National Park is one of the prominent strongholds of Barasinga. The park has played a crucial role in preserving the population of this endangered deer species. The grass on top of their horn was the way to beautify themselves and attract females. With the mist slowly removing its cover, as we were appreciating the beauty of the grassland, we heard a couple of distinct monkey calls. 2 more safari vehicles also came after hearing the calls. After 10 minutes, the attentive Barasinghas lowered their guards, and with heavy hearts we moved on. After some time, we heard a second call near the Jamuntola guard post.
बंदर की कॉलिंग हो रही है किसी भी वक्त।
This is the region of Parsatola tigress. This tigress is named after the nearby guard post called Parsatola. For a few minutes, the pressure built up in anticipation of the climax. But then, a faraway monkey call suggested that the tiger has returned to the deep forest. We then settled down in the Jamuntola guard post for a jungle breakfast. Our guide informed us that unlike the tigers of Muki Gate, the tigers near the Sarhi Gate are shy and elusive. In Ranthambore, I witnessed the tigers evolved to take advantage of the tourists to get easy prey on deers distracted by safari vehicles. But the shy tiger of the Sarhi Gate seems to add to the difficulty level of this game, patiently following the footprints, interpreting the call of sambar deer and monkey, understanding their behavior, and then using all this information to meticulously position ourselves for a glimpse of this majestic beast is a game by itself. This is the beautiful game of hide and seek in the wild. The trained safari guides, the alert monkeys, the sambar deer are in one team, while the tigers are in another. Both the teams are well poised. It is the game of outmaneuvering the other to win. If the tiger wins, it would be rewarded with food, while if the other team wins, then the monkeys and deer live another day, while the tourist in their safari is gifted with a good sighting. Like any other game, the uncertainty of this game makes it more interesting. The outcome can be both ways, but either ways, the adrenal rush is guaranteed. And this is the reason why people like us visit these tiger safaris regularly. When we came out of the forest, there was a loud talk that few safari vehicles had seen a tiger. That tiger was last seen months ago, and the safari guys was unsure if it is Balwan or Yuvraj, but they were sure he had some injuries in his leg. So for the evening safari, we raced to the point where the morning team has sighted the tiger. But after a good wait at that spot, it was clear that our hero may have moved out. While returning, a safari driver informed us that growling was heard from the Jamuntola area, the breakfast spot where we heard a few calls in the morning also. We left all our plans and decided to wait for the same elusive female of this zone, our Parsatola tigress. On the way to the Jamuntola post, we stopped at this point to appreciate some deer and click some photos. Then we headed to the guards post for a quick bio break. The idea was that after the bio break, we would wait for rest of the evening at this spot where growling was heard. By the time my turn came and I had just entered the enclosure, I heard a low-pitched growling. The first thought that came to me was that my mind was playing with me. Maybe it's some illusion, but when I saw a safari vehicle speeding to the spot from where the growling came and then saw our guide and driver running towards our vehicle, I could sense what was happening. The tiger was very near to us.
हल्का सा गुर्राया उसके जस्ट बाद कॉल आया। मैंने गुर्राया सुनने के बाद भी ना मुझे यकीन नहीं हुआ कि ये टाइगर
In less than a minute, we reached the same point where we were appreciating the deer sometimes back while clicking photographs and discovered that the vehicle in front of us saw the tiger crossing.
मैंने भी देखा वाइट सा ट्री है उसके पास मैंने भी देखा कहाँ पे अरे ये जो इधर ट्री था ना इसके बगल से निकल के गया मैंने भी देखा
From our vehicle, Anjali could see the tigress disappearing in the woods. But the tiger could win today's hide and seek from rest of us. Even when we were appreciating the deer at this very spot a few minutes back, the tiger must have seen us from the woods, waiting to cross the road once we clear the area. Suddenly it came to my mind that if our tigress is so elusive, why was she growling and declaring her presence? Our guide quickly came up with an explanation.
तो ये गुर्राना उसके लिए था मीटिंग कॉल।
During the mating season, the female growls if she can't get a mate after a long search. Our tigress seemed to be growling in her zone for a couple of days, and by crossing the street, she moved towards the area where Balwan was seen this morning. The next day morning was our third and last safari. We first went to the spot where Balwan was found a day before, and then went to Jamuntola area where our tigress was spotted last evening. After thorough search of rest of the accessible area of the jungle, we bid our characters Balwan and Persatola tigress farewell. May Balwan get healthy quickly, and may our Persatola tigress get a good match in Balwan or any other tiger soon. Though this time we lost the game of hide and seek, we had definitely extracted the pleasure for which we entered these jungles. After a tasty lunch, we started our next destination, Jabalpur, which is just 3 hours drive. We were in time at Bheraghat to witness the setting sun while boating along the marble rocks. The next day, early in the morning, we visited Dhuadhar Falls. But the best thing at Jabalpur was stored for the last. The hundreds of Siberian seagulls flying together near the Gauri Ghat stole our hearts, and then it was time for us to fly back home. A few safaris are in my calendar this year. Next month in February, I am visiting Sundarban, where boats replace gypsies for the forest safaris and humans replace deers as animal of prey. But before that, I will visit a cold desert at around minus 30 degrees centigrade, which is also a home for the elusive snow leopards. Later in the year, I have plans to stay a few days in Dhekala at the heart of Jim Corbett National Park. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, you know what to do. Also, if you like this story, please don't forget to press the like button. It will really go a long way in motivating me. Bye.